and welcome to Salvation, the final episode of StarCraft II Legacy of the Void.
I have been blessed to truly get to know you, Artanis. To call you friend, not just because of memory, but through experience.
Our journey is not yet over, friend Phoenix. If we win this day, know that the glory of building a new civilization lies ahead, and I will need you to help me do it.
It is a task I greatly look forward to. But I no longer wish to be called by the name Phoenix.
Oh?
I am honored to choose my own name. It will be Talendar.
Talendar. One who bears a strong heart. A fitting name. So it shall be.
Hierarch, it is done.
The Xel'Naga Keystone is ready for deployment.
Indeed. However, the duration of the effect still deeply concerns me.
It is our only option. We must believe that there will be enough time to speak reason.
No matter what happens, if we die, we all die Templar. And I thank you for that. For your faith in me. It has been my eternal honor to serve you, Hierarch.
Okay, some touching and inspirational final dialogues from Phoenix and Karax. And there will be more dialogue with the other characters, but while we're here, we'll do our Spear of Adun abilities, and this is going to be a doozy of a mission, so this is very important what we take here. We're going with Warpin, Reinforcements, Solar Lance, Orbital Assimilators, and then on the right side, Shield Overcharge, Guardian Shell, Purifier Beam, and then in the middle we are maxing out all 3 auxiliary systems. Bonus starting supply, construction time, and shield recharge rate.
You seem troubled by so much loss, Hierarch.
How could one not be? But the brooding you sense is only concern for the task at hand. To convince our people that they must shed what they hold most sacred.
You convinced me. I, who held the Kala above all else.
You knew the risk that connection was presenting to us.
Indeed. Though I seldom knew his possession, each was horrifying. I bore silent witness to the mockery he made of me. I cannot imagine the suffering they have experienced below. The release they must yearn for.
Can you sense the hope, Matriarch?
I do. If we succeed, we will have a new chance to forge the unified society we strove for on Shakuras.
We will preserve the traditions of the Nerazim. They will not be forgotten.
In time, they may be. I fear losing our old ways, Artanis. But as we've worked with the Tal'Darim and the Purifiers, I now see that it is inevitable. Traditions must change as we do. A day may come when we leave behind the Shadow Walk, just as you have abandoned the Kala and the caste system.
That is the price we must pay, to become truly one people.
So I have come to believe.
Okay, and for our unit selection, I'm not making any changes in here, so what you see is what you get. You can probably guess what the strategy is going to be. Void Ray Carrier, Big Dev, you guessed it. But there are some of these other units that appear as like starting units and whatnot, so it is important to check and make sure that they are properly chosen.
You have surprised my people, Hierarch. They knew little of the bravery of the Templar. Some are even impressed by it.
They have fought nobly, Alarak. I am honored that they stand with me.
They admire your conviction and brutality.
And if we are victorious this day, will they continue to stand with me?
If I will it. But now is not the time to muse upon future things. Not when my vengeance awaits.
The Keystone is ready, Hierarch. We await your command.
Karax, open a channel to our entire fleet. I will address the Templar. My brethren, hear me, for there is little time left. All that remains of our race, our civilization, are those that stand beside you now, and those corrupted on the surface below. Our kind once stood as stewards of a galaxy full of promise. In our pride and division, we failed that sacred charge and fell to ruin. The Kala, designed to bring unity, ultimately only aided those divisions. Its hope was a lie. Today, that lie must come to its end. And with it, our prejudice and arrogance must become a thing of the past. For we now fight in the belief that our kind has not seen its end. That we Protoss can stand bound by a belief in unity. And that we Protoss will forge a great and mighty new civilization. Trust each other in the fight ahead. Strike as one will. Let our last stand burn a memory so bright that we will be known throughout eternity.
The keystone is in place, Hierarch. It will require time to charge to its full power.
The Nerazim stand ready, Artanis. We will hold the northern entrance to the temple.
The Purifiers and I will secure the southern approach.
And I lay claim to the primary battle line. Amon shall know my wrath firsthand.
My forces will ensure the keystone's safety and provide for our defense. We will reinforce your warriors as we are able.
Hierarch, the Zerg surround us. But what of the Golden Armada? Disabling the Psi Matrix delayed their return, but...
Amon will bring the full might of the Great Fleet to bear against us. Of that, there is no doubt. But we shall not break. We are the Daylon, united as never before. Entaro Adun, Entaro Tassadar, Entaro Zeratul.
Artanis, your executors will not be able to hold the temple entrances indefinitely. Be ready to assist them at a moment's notice.
All right, here we go. Salvation, Devatron. I mean, it's just such an emotional beginning, all those speeches and stuff. I want to explain strategy and start talking about this mission to you, but all I can think about is, like, Intaro Zeratul, Devatron. Okay, in all seriousness, this is a very hard mission, one of the hardest in the games. It's basically an all-in redux from Wings of Liberty where you had to charge the artifact.
The enemy approaches. Nerazim, ready your warp blades. We shall hold the line.
And it's also something of a Last Stand redux, the really hard mission from earlier in the playthrough. So similar to Last Stand, it's sort of this temple setting, and you have these 3 choke points with stairways coming at you. Now thankfully, unlike Last Stand, you're not going to get backdoored. There's not a 4th choke point in the back, but you do have to deal with, getting waves of enemies from 3 directions.
So, Amon intends to lay siege from all directions. Step forth, Dark One, and face Alarak, High Lord of the Tal'Darim.
Where shall we march?
And also, just like Last Stand, initially the waves come from one direction at a time, and then they start to come from 2 directions, and then ultimately all 3 directions at once. So again, very, very similar to Last Stand in that kind of hold the temple kind of setting.
Zerg detected approaching the southern entrance. Amon is probing our defenses, searching for weakness. Show him none.
So I already mentioned I'm going to be building void rays and carriers, and it's going to be mostly void rays. I'm not going to go nuts with carriers. I'm also going to be building a whole bunch of those Kadaran monoliths. Those are the big giant turrets that we got in Last Stand, and remember I just kind of filled the whole map with them as best I could. I'm going to kind of do that again. I'm only going to be able to get 2 sides, not all 3, but I found that was the best way to do it. I will eventually get supply capped with a lot of void rays, but mostly I'll be building defense in those monoliths.
With pride. To glory.
Amon is using the Armada's most powerful ships against the Keystone. As painful as it will be, we have no choice but to destroy them.
To save your people, yet here you stand, a witcher. Only desolation awaits.
Okay, nice use of purification beam on the Golden Armada units there. And there's actually an achievement. You'll see it happen, although I already received the achievement in other takes. It's called Delams to the Slaughter, and you have to just damage or disable 20 Golden Armada units with Spear of Adun abilities. So we'll be doing plenty of that with Solar Lance and Purification Beam.
Iron shall be reclaimed. Combat awaits.
Artanis, the Golden Armada has begun attacking the Spear of Adun. I'll try to support your forces, but we're taking heavy damage.
This vessel serves as a beacon for your hope. Your faith is misplaced.
The enemy is sending a torrent of forces down the central path. The Tal'Darim will need reinforcements. Another fleet of ships set a course for the Keystone. They must be repelled.
Upgrade complete. You have not enough minerals.
Okay, there's some more Golden Armada units damaged by Spear of Adun abilities. I think on the scorecard we end up getting 27, so we definitely complete that achievement, no problem.
Where shall we march? It shall be done.
Base is our allies' base is besieged.
The Templar. We serve Glorious combat is upon us.
Weak, powerless. Submit.
The Spear of Adun has taken a direct hit. The fabrication matrix is unresponsive. Reinforcements can no longer be called down.
Okay, so no more warp-in reinforcements. You see up in the top there in our Spear of Adun abilities hotbar, that's gone for the rest of the mission. And you can probably guess that the Spear of Adun is going to keep taking damage, and then they're going to keep knocking out our abilities. So this is one of the parts of the mission that make it really, really hard. You know, you can't just keep relying on Solar Lance and all the goodies to bail you out of tight situations. So, again, one of the really tough dynamics to this mission.
Warriors, a stream of enemies will be upon us shortly. Stand firm, and we shall resist them.
I have met the enemy.
Prismatic core online.
And there goes Alarak. He's not like dead forever or anything, but when these executors die in combat in this mission, they just are gone from the mission. So he's out of there.
We serve with pride.
Where there was once salvation, now all shall be consumed by the cleansing flame.
You know, as for the second achievement, I've actually never been able to get it. It's called Fully Calibrated, and you can't lose any of your allies' nexuses. And the one I always lose is that one right there, Alarax, the Tal'Darines. And I think it's because it's in the middle, and the way I always do this mission is to build defense and reinforce the sides, like I'm doing. And I never just have enough time and resources to protect the middle, so that one always ends up falling.
Where shall we march? Combat.
You have not enough minerals.
Forward.
Paradactyl.
The assault cluster is failing. Solar Lance is offline.
The Keystone's energy matrix has reached the halfway point. We must hold on.
Detecting multiple enemies on approach. They're attacking 2 entrances at once.
Your allies' base is besieged.
Yes, Executor. Our legacy lives on.
Your allies' base is besieged. You have not enough minerals.
Glorious
Okay, nice use of shield overcharge there. And that doesn't just shield my units and buildings. It does everybody, all our allies, everything. So that's a good one to have on this mission. And now that we've lost, our first 2 Spear of Adun abilities from left to right, guess what's going to be next? That one. So you might as well just use it as soon as it's up and, keep it on cooldown because you're going to lose it eventually.
Hierarch, I am detecting a much larger force from the Golden Armada inbound on the Keystone. Be prepared.
Prismatic core online. Our pylon is under attack.
So at this point, I felt pretty decent. I'm a little too slow with my monoliths, and I was too slow at getting the fleet beacon in the game and making carriers. But otherwise, we're holding on here, and we're getting a decent amount of defense built up on the left and right, and we are at supply capacity with units, so we're not doing that bad.
Face the enemy.
I will remake this universe as it should have been. Perfect!
You have not enough minerals.
Yes.
The northern entrance has fallen. We must reinforce the Nerazim's position immediately.
Hull breach detected. Defensive lattice is offline. Shielding systems failing.
Okay, so there goes shield overcharge. The 3rd Spear of Adun ability is no longer available. So we're getting tight, but as you can see, we're getting these monoliths built up. We're at supply capacity or close to it. And as units die off, we now have a fleet beacon up and we can start making carriers. So we're still very much in this mission, and I was feeling pretty good at this point.
Enemies are swarming against all 3 entrances. Resist them, brothers!
Give us your command.
Base is under attack.
Where shall we march? I have met the enemy.
Your allies' base is besieged. We face the enemy. Your allies' base is besieged. Base is under. Our pylon is under attack.
The primary entrance has been breached. The Tal'Darim have been overrun. Reinforce their position immediately.
Upgrade complete.
Glorious combat is upon us.
The Golden Armada. A shining symbol of arrogance. Let your pride be your downfall.
We face the enemy. Systems at Zaknaku Akbal. Your allies' base is received. Challenger. Barrier has arrived. You have not enough minerals. Your allies' base is besieged. Our pylon is under attack. We face the enemy.
Our defenses have been breached, and our nexus is under attack. Where is your promised aid, Hierarch? I have no intention to die for this cause, Artanis. If you cannot protect me, I shall not aid you.
Your allies' base is besieged.
And I almost had that Nexus saved, but yep, didn't get it. Like I said, that's the one doing it this way that I can't save because I'm, too slow to get static defense over there, or split my forces and manage a defense down the middle at the same time as all the other areas. So, not the end of the world, just didn't get that achievement. Now, from a role-playing point of view, it is kind of satisfying, the idea that Alarak was the one that got beaten, The other two were strong enough and their bases were good enough, but he was just, not up to the task, Devatron. He didn't build a good enough base, and he got beaten.
Gods! Their ships are diving headlong into the Spear of Adun! The core is going critical! Hierarch, we can no longer support you!
You have done enough, Rohana. The Keystone is approaching full power. Evade them as long as you can.
Base is under attack.
Their blood is on your hands, Artanis.
False savior.
Your defiance means their death.
Hierarch, I see an unending tide of Protoss signatures. He's sending every last one of the possessed Templar against the Keystone.
We will hold Karax. We must.
Carrier has arrived. Your allies' base is besieged. Your probes are under attack. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Our pylon is under attack. Your allies' base is besieged. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack.
The Keystone is approaching maximum energy output. Victory is nearly upon us. Do not lose hope, brothers.
Base is under attack. Your allies' base is besieged. Base is under attack. Engage the enemy. Base is under attack. Your allies' base is besieged. Your probes are under attack. Your warriors have engaged the enemy. Base is under attack. Your allies' base is besieged.
Artanis, I must retreat. You have to carry on this fight, Hierarch. For our people.
Probes are under attack. Your allies' base is besieged.
Energy matrix charged. The keystone is ready, Hierarch.
Warriors, pull back to the keystone. Let them come to us. Selendis! Hear me! Selendis! Templar! Rid yourselves of Amon! Sever your nerve cords!
We are one in the color.
Without the color, what will we become?
Free. Believe.
Intaro Artanis!
The Dark One has been banished back into the Void. For now, we are free. All of this because of you. I will bring our great dream of a unified Protoss to bear. We will gather the survivors, rebuild our cities. We will reject our old divisions and forge a new society. Together, we will shape our destiny amongst the stars.
Oh, yeah. Big time, Devatron. Salvation, and that'll wrap up Legacy of the Void. Hope you enjoyed that one. Great game, great story. But we're not done yet. We still got the epilogue, Into the Void. We'll see you in the next episode.
How can this be? Hierarch, we are receiving an unauthorized transmission. It is from
Ulnar. It is Kerrigan.